Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
So I see you're the man of recruiting, and I noticed you recruited some great players. Georgia, and is it? I don't want to say her name wrong. Is it GUILIA? GUILIA?
Oh, Julia, yeah, Julia, yeah.
Is it Julia with a G? Okay.
With a G, yeah.
How did you manage to get those gems?
Yeah, well, so Jules was at a school. So, like, with my trips over to the US with my work, one of the schools I went to a while ago was she the first time? I think it's Florida Southern College. And like, I'm pretty close with the coach there. And I can't remember how I reached out, but like I got in contact with Jules somehow. We did a workout there, and I was like, oh, look, like, I'm really impressed with you. I think you could do a lot more than you can here. And again, in America, I think coaches pigeonhole players, or, they have to fit into a system where I felt she could be way more effective scoring because she was super quick, super skilled, but she just needed that confidence. And over the 3 years, she did a really good job of developing. So she came, but actually when I went to recruit her, Flo Ward was injured, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize you were here. Like, I never knew her before, but obviously British girl. And I was like, well, do you want to come as well? And she's like, yeah, all right, I'll come too. So, like, it was a pretty good trip in that respect. So, like, both Jules and Flo came along. And then with Gio, like, it's just like putting the time in. Like any coach, I'd probably put more time in trying to create connections, look at the right people. And I got introduced to Gio by, I can't remember by who. It might be one of my friends, and they're like, "Oh, look, have you seen this player?" And like, when I watched her, and she knows this, like, she's just the most unorthodox player. But like, the coaches had nothing but positive things. Like, they have around the house. She looks after their kids, and that's the sort of person you want in anything, whether it's a basketball team or like a regular job, whatever it is. So I was like, well, she sounds like a great person. Then when I watched her, she was just a gamer. She was like an undersized, like, forward. And then she just killed teams. Like, when I signed her, I remember, like, Lee Oakland's like, yeah, I wasn't sure about her. And other coaches were like the same, but man, she killed teams. Like, she just would out-rebound, out-hustle with a smile on her face. And like, you have to be she was a true athlete, but she also knew how to have fun. Like, she was down for a beer when it wasn't like training. She really worked hard at her degree. She did a master's in, I think it was occupational therapy or something along those lines. And she volunteered every Wednesday at the food bank, for 2 years. So she was able to manage her time. And like, she was she was such a big part of why we got so many fans. And any of the people who are watching, they, like the fans that come down, like, absolutely loved her. And she, that's the sort of person that I want in a franchise. And if I won the Euro Millions, or if we could pay players, then she would be staying. But unfortunately, I have to rely on a high turnover of players every, like, 1 to 2 years through Masters. But eventually I want to get to a point where we can keep people like her and Jules. Like, Jules did 2 Masters because she's incredibly smart, and now she's signed over in Sardinia, I think. So, like, I know that the opportunity we offer here is for the education, the high level in the WBBL, but I 100% see it as a stepping stone for them to go over to Europe and get paid until we can offer them a chance to get paid, housing, cars.
Definitely. That's what we want for the women's league.
100%.
And the last one, I spoke to another one, a vet on your team, and this recruiting. What made you come to this decision to recruit in her? Was Ruth Thornley.
Oh yeah, well, Ruth is brilliant. So like, when I first took over the team, she was a part of it, and like, she didn't play too much. She's been super talented. She was in the GB in England, like, age groups, and she, it got to the point where she felt, rightly so, that she was giving up a lot of time and not playing. And as a coach, it's hard because her enthusiasm is infectious and her personality is one of the best. But there were certain things that she couldn't do on the court. So, so that's hard for a player to hear. And then it's hard to, maintain, like, why am I doing this? So she was like, look, I think it was just before Christmas. She's like, look, I'm going to have to step away. I was like, hey, that's fine, like, no hard feelings. And then over the past few years, like, especially, well, not just with rulings, but she was continuing to play. She had a family and stuff like that. So like, priorities changed, and she was like, she joined in because we had a few like injuries at the back end of last year, and she came down, and she was just like a breath of fresh air again, like the same person, like cracking jokes, like, and like could still shoot out the ball. And it was just a great person. And And I was like, look, would you want to be involved next year? She goes, well, Chris, I'm going to have to try and get in some shape. You know, I'll gain some mum weight. And I was like, hey, look, but like, you know, again, like we went through our ups and downs this year together again, as any coach and player will. But, you know, what she brings is phenomenal. Like she is the like biggest energy like I can ever like have. And it's just trying to get her integrated into the system. The season ended a little bit too long, getting her in the best shape she can, but she's still one of the best shooters in the game. So, you know, it's just trying to get her involved. But that personality, like, is just infectious. I love spending time with Ruth.
I love Ruth, man. I used to go Leeds University with her, and when she was with the team, she just used to, I used to watch her cracking jokes. I just be like, nod my head at her, like, what's this woman doing?
Yeah, some things never change.
Exactly.
Never change.
But it was a good what she doing though. Ah, that's Ruth for you. All right.
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.